FAQs.sg, we make technology accessible. This is the second part of our questions series. The videos in these series are independent of each other, but you may check out our first video at the end of this video. This is one of the most popular questions we get: how to add a staking function to our button. Let's first start with adding the smart contracts. Within the dApp Builder, go to the Contracts tab on the left-hand sidebar. Click on Load Existing Contract. Firstly, find the minting contract and click on it. The minting contract is of the token that you want to stake. The minting contract is not required if you are staking the native token. Then, add the staking contract via the same process. Next, we will be adding the decimal input box and button to the empty row here. Switch to the Elements tab. Click on the Input button. The Choices screen will pop up. Go to the Standard tab and choose a basic input. Change the name of the input box by calling it Amount, so that it will be easy to find later. Next, go to the Style tab and change the type to decimal, so that users are able to input the amount of token they want. This input will then be incorporated to the staking function. Finally, to make it easier to see the input, I am going to the Borders tab to change the outline color to black and make the edges sharper by turning the radius to 0. Lastly, all we need is the button. Switch to the Elements tab again and add a button here. We will add a basic button. I will go to the label option so that I can change the text to stake. I don't like the default color, so I will go to the Backgrounds option and change the background color of the button to match the button at the top. To match the input box, I will go to the Borders tab and change the radius to 0. Still not satisfied, I will make the wording be bold by going to the Styles tab and clicking Yes for the bold option. Now that all my styling is done, we will now focus on the staking function. To start, click on the button. Go to the On-Click option. Find the Approve function of your minting contract. This gives permission to access the user's token for transfer for the staking contract. This would mean that the spender in this function would be your staking contract. Click on Show Contract Addresses to show the contracts you have loaded. Click on your staking address. Next, the amount to approve for transfer would be the amount the user keyed into the input box. Click on Use Formula instead. The formula screen will pop up. Click on the first line, then go to House Functions. Find the decimal to unsigned integer function. This is as the input box takes in decimal, but the contract only accepts unsigned integers, so you have to convert them. Under decimal, go to Input Values. Find the input box and click on it. For number of padded zeros, it is 18. This is as we set our token to have 18 decimal places, so one of our token is represented by 10 to the power of 18 of its smallest unit. Once done, click on Submit and then, Update Formula. Next, click on, If Succeed. This is what action to take if the user approves of letting the staking contract transfer their token for staking. Find the stake function in your staking function that you want to use. For the trigger, find approval as you are depending on the approval of the transfer. Click on it. The owner would be the user who want to stake. Click on Use Formula instead. The formula screen will appear and you can see that the default is current user, which is what we want, so close the screen. Next, the spender is the staking contract as they are allowed to spend on the owner's behalf, which is the user. Click on Show Contract Addresses, and find the staking contract and choose it. For the stake amount, it is the same as the approve amount in that I take the input box and convert it to unsigned integer as it will be going into the contract. I would not elaborate on it. Everything is now ready to go. To see how it will look, go to the preview screen using the button at the top right-hand corner. click on the Connect button to first connect your wallet. Input 1 as you want to only stake 1 coin into the input box. Finally, I will click on the staking button. The user will see a message, where they will have to approve for the staking contract to access their token to stake. I will not proceed further. Our staking button is now fully functional. Check out our guide for more detailed notes to aid you in building your dApp. If you have any questions that you cannot find being answered, find us on our Telegram at QSSG. Otherwise, here's our main series on how to create a dApp. See you again.